Alright, let's pick it up here.
Yes. And I've heard of you too, Godslayer. You were behind my familiar's death.
Well, he really didn't like the guys, so it's not a big deal.
Long time no see.
Not really, that was the last dungeon, actually. Remember the one where you tortured me?
Maybe.
I'm sorry there's gonna be a bit of a sound lag in this
There's no
one.
need to get blood all over this lovely
We'll see if
church.
it continues into the next one. I pause momentarily. I should have realized that's where the cutscene ends. A creepy spot of his. Well, it's kind of obvious. Okay, and the strategy here is go to a room. There's a problem I have with this certain video is that mostly it's gonna be cutscenes. And this is torture, and I think that shortened my lifespan. And I'm gonna check to see what's in here. And the music changes to the Anastasia's little music thing. And Circlet. Circlet is a defense accessory, but it increases special defense, and only women can wear it. And when I tried equipping it to Anastasia, I realized it lowered her physical defense, which is one of my bigger worries because she's a mage, and mages don't really do well against physical attacks. Now we have to head to her room. That way's blocked. And we have to keep going. I use a tent now, but it doesn't really matter because I don't fight anything just yet. This is one of those times where you have to actually wait before you start going on your little rampages. Not really. Now we have to head to her room. And we have to endure a pretty lengthy series of cutscenes. To the point where I actually do have to pause, partially because I didn't know how long this video is going to be because I had to cut it up a little bit.
Huh? What's the big deal?
The neighbors.
I hate that tune. So the ball has begun? It's every night. Every night. There's something wrong with them. This whole country is insane. Maybe it should disappear.
Hang on.
The people's anger is ready to explode, and we pretend nothing's going on. We're like Nero. We keep on fiddling as the world is burning around us.
Nero was a little bit
for all
loony.
leaders. This country has gotten too big. Yep.
I do agree with
You'll bring
that,
us bad
but
luck.
That's right. There are a lot of
you
people that still have
can't really
dreams.
deny the fact.
I worry. Someday, I'm afraid the people's anger will explode, and they'll burn down my palace.
I wouldn't say burn it down, they'd probably take it over and
He first
Kill
came to
you,
the palace some years ago.
not burn it down.
My mother was in anguish over Alexei, born with a rare and painful disease.
I think I already told you about this, so I'm just gonna keep quiet, so there's really not much
One
to
day,
explain.
a man came from Siberia who was said to have great powers of healing. That was the monk, Rasputin. Rasputin healed my brother's illness and earned the trust of my mother. Since then, he has begun to wield greater control over the country. My father himself is a kind man, but he has left too much to his ministers. Their idea of government is one which simply keeps the people oppressed. And anger towards the emperor who allows it is threatening to boil over. Even the war could soon be ended if my father would stand up and be strong. But there are some who profit from war and wish for it to go on forever. If I were a man, I'd be able to help my father.
I wouldn't want to be in Alexei's
I
place.
wish I were in Alexei's place.
If he gets injured, he dies.
Anastasia.
Russia is infected by a disease. We're a statue too stiff to move.
And this is where you figure out what
I'm
his
half
other
Russian, you know.
help is. He's
My mother
half
was
Japanese,
born
half
and bred
Russian.
in Russia.
But his mother is
Really?
a bit obscure, and
Yeah. So don't get so depressed, alright?
we will kind of learn a little bit
If
about
the
who she
princess gives
is.
up, everyone else will too.
Yuri,
When your father comes back, you should talk to him. He'll understand how you feel. He loves you, doesn't he?
yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to pause here because this begins the next phase, so I'll wrap up and see you later.